I don't think we've done this year. Well, that's a question. Obey have done... They definitely played.
We have done pretty poor for how we should have done and how I think we could have done.
I think Obey has been kind of general consensus the worst team of the year. Not to say that they've like every single game you can come in, it's a free win or anything. They've been competitive at times for sure, but I think that they struggle in longer series, like the best of threes. They can definitely look good in game 1 or game 3 kind of thing, but they have a lot of trouble taking it through and staying consistent.
The players are good, but they don't have like the synergy, or I don't know what happened there, but yeah, they are not good enough, I think, to be in this bill like a team.
I think Obey has been kind of where everybody expected them to be. Just kind of the lower end, and they have their pop-off moments, and they'll have like one time or a couple of games where they just snowball the game and they play looking like a strong SPL team, but then they'll have other games where it's just kind of everything falls apart and they just lose pretty quick.
With their track record this year, I just don't see them doing much, but I wouldn't count them out because they have Sino. I feel like he's a pretty strong leader, and he's able to get teams on the same page, which is really beneficial at Worlds and tournaments like this.
I think their biggest strength has probably been Sino when he finds his footing and he finds characters or playstyles that he thinks works well with their team.
They got a lot better with Sino, but I still think that they are just struggling at a lot of fundamental areas. They just do a lot of weird plays and a lot of just things that shouldn't be happening. And then they'll just get a random fire giant due to Sino and kind of pop off. And I feel like they just need to kind of work from the ground up and kind of figure out where these misplays are happening in the early mid game, because they get a lead like every game and then they just make like one bad play somewhere.
I don't know what it is that's holding them back. I kind of think they have maybe that same issue as the United, where they don't really do the meta things, especially in the jungle role. Sino likes to do his own thing. And, you know, who's to argue with the world champ MVP, right? I mean, that is Sino. He carried in that Season 5 World. So, and I have much respect for him, but he's been doing a lot of like, you know, chop jungle. You know, I don't know how that's going to work out really. Well, I kind of do know because they've been losing.
You know, we'd win a fight, we're like, alright, sweet, farm. And, you know, wouldn't do an objective, wouldn't punish anything, wouldn't push, because we were scared to throw the lead. I think that's how we got in our heads, because we kept throwing, especially at fire giants and whatnot. So recently we've just been running it down at objectives, and that's been doing well. Until that 20-minute mark, but you know, we'll discuss that at a later date. But I think just having a clear plan and then executing that well without doing anything else.
And I think they just need to kind of bring everything back. And like bring everything back like 3 steps and just be like, okay, why are these mistakes happening? And if they can do that, I think they're going to be a really good team.
I think if they maybe would do the meta things first, get some consistency, and then maybe branch off into the weird stuff, that would be a little bit more beneficial for them.
I don't know, when you're in game, you're like, oh, we could still win this game. Like they have made mistakes before, they might make another mistake, and they usually do. Like they just need to focus on their late game because they have a really good early, and they probably like Santa probably has like the most first bloods, like up there with Sam or something, like the first bloods in the league. So if they just clean up their mid late game, I'd say like the transition, they could be a good team, yeah.
I could see Obey making a run in the qualifiers. I don't know if I can see them qualifying for Worlds yet, unless they have something up their sleeve that catches teams off guard. But I could see them progressing in the qualifiers.
It's kind of hard to say. I don't think they really have that good of a chance against the higher seeded SPL teams they're going to be playing. So I think they're probably pretty likely to lose that round. But like I said, it's kind of just who shows up on any given day in the SPL can win a set. So, but I don't think they're favored.
Obey could definitely beat Sanyon. I do think they have a decent matchup into them. But realistically, I don't see them getting past like quarters, because obviously they will be playing us as well in quarters if we win. So I expect them to get to quarters, maybe like we're expecting Obey or Sanguine. Like doesn't like obviously the different teams, but yeah, I'd say yes, quarters maybe.
I want a ring, man. I want a little ring that says mid laner. You know, I want to get one of them. sorry, solo win. Yeah.
No, that was good.
Yeah.